friends. In this Meditation Essentials, I would like to address a topic that is so central to the practice and the experience of meditation that it almost goes without saying, but not really, because this is a concept that we're a little unfamiliar with. Meditation as a practice can seem a little mechanical. You get this technique and you practice these many breaths this way, and et cetera, et cetera. You may sort of get to feel a little bit repetitive. The concept is devotion. There's a saying in real estate. It's location, location, location. And in meditation, I would say it's devotion, devotion, and devotion. This is one of the many reasons that Yogananda said, chanting is half the battle, because it awakens that heart energy, that uplifted heart connection, without which it's really impossible to make any significant progress in the practice of meditation, or really, for that matter, in the spiritual life at all. Somewhere along the way, the heart has to get engaged. And prior to that, it's a thought, it's an idea, it's a concept. I remember a phase in my life where, I was having to make some important decisions about my future. What was I going to study in college, for example? And I didn't really have a sense for what it was supposed to be. There wasn't that heart connection. I chose with my mind. I made the best choice that I knew to make, that I understood to make. But when the real choice came, when the real direction came, which was toward the spiritual life, toward the spiritual path, the heart was so engaged that there was not even a ripple, there was not even a second thought of this previous path. And in our meditation, we have to develop that capacity, and it is a capacity. It's something that requires exercise, and this is one of the reasons that chanting is so helpful, is that it gives us that exercise. But then the practice of meditation, we have to use that newly created or newly discovered strength in ourselves to practice devotionally. And this may seem a little odd at first, because we may think, but I'm just doing some exercise, or I'm practicing this thing, I'm listening, I'm chanting a mantra, I'm doing a breathing exercise, whatever it may be. How is that devotional? Well, there's a lot to that, and it's far too sort of elaborate to go into in this video. For example, there's the concept of the guru and devotion to the guru, which is way beyond this subject, except to say that if you do have that level of connection to the guru, and the guru gives you a meditation technique, then you can practice it devotionally in reverence of that guru, in honor of the fact that you've been given instruction and your job is to patiently, lovingly, diligently follow that instruction. And that heart level of it, again, in the West, this is less familiar. This concept is less familiar to us. I mean, I do remember growing up as a kid, hearing about the devoted Catholic, the one who is at Mass every single morning, following the rosary, whatever their particular path in that was. And I remember sort of being impressed by that, because the tradition I grew up in didn't have that kind of thing. Nobody went to church 7 days in a week, except maybe the pastor of the church or some employee who was, really busy that particular week. But I mean, otherwise, nobody did that sort of thing. So it just wasn't kind of a normal concept for a lot of people. Whereas in the East, devotional practice of some kind, I remember in India encountering just a chance encounter with a fellow who was chanting the Gita. He was literally singing the Bhagavad Gita, which is a song. The scripture itself is actually a piece of music. And him chanting this, it was so moving to me because it was so simple and it was so unadorned, so unostentatious. Just one fellow sitting in the sunshine in the morning chanting the Gita. He couldn't have cared if there was another soul on the planet. At that moment, he was between him and God, singing this song of love to God. And somewhere, somehow, that aspect has to come into our meditation practice. And the assignment for each of us is to find what will draw the heart. Some of this revolves around a very simple practice, and I believe I've alluded to this in other videos, but if not, I'll just say it here. It's really helpful to have an altar. It's really helpful to have some kind of focal point. We put the pictures of our masters and sometimes other saints as well. Sometimes people that we're praying for. In a sense, you can think of this as kind of the, in many homes around the world, there's a mantelpiece, there are shelves, there are places in the home where people put photos of their family, their children, their loved ones, their friends, their guru, their, whoever it is that is meaningful to them. And it awakens their heart. They go by there and they think, oh, that's my grandfather that I loved or that I still love, whatever. And if you think of an altar as that kind of expression, but that went to college, that went and got a PhD, that it went up to its highest octave, that's the devotion that we're looking for. Whether you could put a crystal on your altar, doesn't have to be personal, but it does have to awaken the heart. So whatever will do that in your practice, that is essential. And that's why it is a meditation essential. God bless you.